Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yeshai Bashem Rakakodash. I can't really play the video because it's on, just caught a bit of the Hodge twins. This is just fair use. I'm not going to use the footage, it's just to sort of shed light upon this person. And if you guys want to do have a look at this individual, okay, go onto the channel. It's called This Beautiful Chick is a Pervert. It's approximately 1 month old. And, most of you Jakes know about the Hodge twins. Ex-Marine veterans, and they shed light on Jake. They put everything on a negative spin, and they always big up the so-called white man, which leads him to believe they're either bought and paid for. Either way, the Lord is using them to expose Jake, but they very rarely, these guys, have a go at Esau. Okay, and if Esau does something wrong or foul, they always try and like sugarcoat it and make it sort of like put a plaster over the cut, so to speak. But anyway, this is an Edomite woman, all right? There's been quite a bit of footage out with Edomites kissing their dogs in the mouth, uh, having relations which a male and female have on a natural way. They have relations with their animals. And they're also shedding light that she was more than likely being paid for certain things to do with animals, because you got a lot of sick individuals out there, namely the so-called white man, because their nature is of a foul nature. They are very foul by nature. They are underpopulated on the earth. And the reason why they're underpopulated on the earth, they don't make a lot of babies, is because they don't really like women. The so-called white man, the Edomite man, the Caucasian, right? And the heathens too, but namely the Edomite man, the Caucasian man, is a ABCD person by nature. They don't really like women. Hence the reason why a lot of them are cucks. They get off on somebody else doing their wife. They're not men. They are, I don't know what, they're just a bunch of animals. Okay. And this, I won't even call her a lady. This individual here, you know, um, she's apparently back and pregnant. And when they talked about her doing with an animal, right, with a dog, and they said that she was pregnant, and I got sick for a second, thinking that, you know, that she's not pregnant by an animal. Then I thought to myself, okay, the Lord won't allow that. Yahweh Shemashah will not allow that, you know. But you know how this foul world is, this satanic world. So many evil thoughts come into your head because these people do such evil things, and it's in their nature to be this way. You see these Edomites. Even Mike Epps jokes about it. Uh, sheds light on it, where Edomites kiss their dogs in the mouth, and they have the dog at the dinner table, the dog's licking on their hand, and then they're eating their food at the same time. The so-called white man, they're eating the food with the dog's saliva on their hands, and they're feeding their children with the same food that they're feeding the dog. You're supposed to treat your dog correctly, but there's the difference between a human and an animal. Animal needs to know their place. Doesn't mean you kick them around or treat them horribly, but you keep them in a way that they're animals, but you treat them fair and you treat them nice. But these Edomites have them sleeping in their beds, kissing them on the mouth, licking them, tongue kissing them, you know, and to the point where they actually have sexual relations with them. And as you can see, this woman here, she's got demons, and they say that she's got PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, which goes to show, they let these kind of nutcases out early, right? But if Jake, they let these. Actually, I'm not going to touch on Jake, but they let these nutcases out early, and they always have some kind of excuse. Oh, she's stressed out. What are we stressed out about? Isn't this their world? Don't the scriptures say that they're not as trouble? They're not in trouble as other people. Jake has got everything against him. And they've got to try twice as hard to even sort of get a so-called foothold in this world. And these crackers, these Edomites, do disgusting things like this. And these clowns here, these court jesters, the Hodge twins, always put a comedic spin on what the Edomite does, no matter how foul it is. Now, even if the Edomite is doing something against Jake, let's just say it's a different video where the Edomite is coming against, so Jake is defending himself against the Edomite, right? These guys, these clowns, these court jesters are going to say, oh, what did the so-called black person do wrong for him to have to defend himself? Always blaming Jake all the time. All right, don't get it twisted. Jake is wicked too, right? Okay, but these guys are always bigging up the so-called white man, And now these guys are saying that she's attractive. You know, I could even look at a woman that does stuff like this attractive. You know, up and down, right? And look at this. Where's this? Where's this? Where's this? Oh yeah, oh yeah. You may remember the footage or the little caption, right? Adam Britton, yeah, who had relations with 40 dogs, okay, and apparently those dogs were deleted through his sexual abuse of those animals. See, this is the nature of the so-called white man. You don't see this happening amongst the Israelites, the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. And if there is one case like that, more than likely that Jake has got heavy demons on him, obviously, right? Or he's just a chocolate-covered Edomite. Because this is the nature of the so-called white man. And this is, what you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, and you Israelite foreigner women of color especially, worship. This is your God to you. You know, this is Adam Britton, convicted animal abuser who was charged in September 2023 with 56 offenses relating to sexual abuse and torture of animals and possession of child abuse material. So I told you, they don't even like women. Like he wants to mess with animals and now little babies. Pedo. He pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. All right. Where's the one where he was? Oh, here we go. Here's the one. Just want to go to the part of the dogs. Then he says, I deeply regret the pain and trauma that I caused to innocent animals and consequently to my family and friends. This is how sick these people are. You know? And that's why a lot of you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women have got syphilis, because syphilis and all these kind of sexual venereal diseases come from people dealing with animals. And who deals with animals more is a so-called white man. That's their thing. That's their MO, the modus of operandi, your mode of operation. That's what motivates them. Oh, here we go. Renowned British crocodile expert has been jailed for 10 years and 5 months in Australia after admitting to sexually abusing dozens of dogs in a case which horrified the nation. And this is 8th of August 2024. Right, 1 second. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, I found information about a disturbing case involving Adam Britton, a British crocodile expert who has worked with the BBC and National Geographic. He admitted to graping puppies and torturing over 40 dogs, with most of them dying as a result. You know? And even if a puppy or a dog survives grape by an Edomite or a so-called human, right? You have to put that animal down. A poor animal down. They've got to go through abuse. You know? It's horrifying. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau, which is a so-called white man, bare. I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Okay? Now, the Lord is shedding light on Edom. Do you think this would have come out back in the 50s and 60s, even up to the 90s? When the epitome of manliness and manhood was David Hasselhoff riding on the beach with his red trunks in Baywatch. You know? You know? When being a man was considered to be a so-called white man and cool and masculine, and they show him as the gung-ho AK-47 holding, hoorah, Marine type, in those 80s and 90s flicks. It's not like that no more, is it? Okay, because the Lord is lifting the skirts on his heathens, man, before they're going to heavy slavery, which is pursuant to Revelation 39 and 10, because their kingdom is coming to an end, man, pursuant to 2nd Ezra 6, verse 9, Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth. And the Lord is making fun, shedding the light on these damn heathens, man. The Elamites, heavy duty Elamites that were so-called people in this world are being deleted and being made, shown what kind of people they are: Arabs, uh, Moabites, Chinese, Ammonites, Japanese, but mainly the so-called white man, the Edomites. Okay, they're showing what kind of people these are. This would never come out in the 60s and 70s, 80s, and 90s. Okay, with the creation of the internet, which was created by the so-called black man, by the way, from Nigeria, a Judite. Okay, in the spirit power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, the Lord put the spirit in him to create it. Right? This truth is shedding light on everything. And mainly the scriptures that our prophets, our elders and prophets of Great Millstone are shedding light on the truth. And also, the Lord is shedding light on how these heathens behavior. That's why a lot of so-called white women are with an Israelite man. And even if you've seen a couple of Twitter posts, there's a so-called white woman who taught her child, who was maybe 4 or 5 years old, a little blonde child, right? She said to her son, if you get lost, who do you find for protection? Who do you find? This is a so-called white woman, by the way. Her son replied, what his mother told him, by the way, right? His mother said to find a so-called black man for protection if you get lost. Okay? Why a so-called black man? Why? Okay, because the so-called black man is not a pedophile by nature, is not a child molester by nature, is not a faggot by nature, is not a pervert by nature, okay, and doesn't mess with animals by nature. All right. For the most part, Jacob, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, is, for the most part, okay, there's exceptions, but for the most part, is so-called God-fearing, okay, all right, especially Generation X, my generation, and respects their elders and loves women in a natural way, right? And is usually the first one to step up and speak up for a child that's lost or hurt, no matter what they look like. All right. So even the so-called white woman knows that, But you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women still want to be with this damn devil. All right, but good riddance to you. As the apostle said, we don't need the so-called black woman, man. There's Israelite women in different packages, man. All right, and they look good. All right, and obviously we've got the heathen women, which are super fine, especially if you're in London. There's a nice. Well, it's not as nice as it used to be, but there's still a decent, menu of different flavors of women, so to speak. Job 30 verse 1. Even Job said this. Job knew, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. What does disdain mean? All right, let's go to that. What does disdain? The feeling that someone or something is unworthy of one's consideration or respect. Okay? Okay. Let's go to Merriam-Webster Dictionary. To look on with scorn, to refuse or abstain from because of a feeling of contempt or scorn, to treat as beneath one's notice or dignity. Okay? Basically a dislike in polite terms, okay? Even Job said, I don't want none of these Edomites, these people, to have, to sit with the dogs of my flock. Because they know that these crackers, these Edomites, these cave people are going to do something foul with the animals. You leave children around them, they're going to do something foul with children. You know what I mean? That's their nature. Okay? That's their nature. All right? I know, I had to type this in just to find some, where's that footage, man? Actually, get rid of that, man. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look at them. Let me see how many so-called black people come in this footage. Even dealing with the Edomite woman, you got to think twice, man. Get an Edomite woman and say, listen, do you got an animal? Do you kiss your dog in the mouth? If you do, you better stop doing that. But for the most part, people don't really do this. It's mainly the Edomites that do it as a whole. But the Lord, gives Jake. I mean, it's spiritual as well. If you're a Jake in the truth, the Lord's gonna give you Edomite women that don't do shit like that. You know, it's only the 2/3 Jakes that are gonna get all these weirdos and pedos and adulterous women that are gonna deal with them. You know, look at that. Who does that? Look at that. And how many Edomites there from the start to the end? Okay, you see what looks like to be, can't tell what ethnicity is. Edomite women like to put spray tan on and tan themselves. Look at that. Not one brown person, not Hispanic, no native Indian, no Edomite. I'm sorry, all Edomites. You know, no Hispanic, no so-called black person, no so-called native Indian, right? All Edomites. This is common amongst them. And this is the so-called black, Hispanic, and native Indian woman's God. You know, they get unhappy if a so-called white man says, "Okay, I'll date you, but I don't want to be with you." They like to get their rocks off with him, but they they don't want to be with him. You know. But anyway, that's the so-called black woman's God. You know. You know, and he's falling, and the skirts are being lifted of what kind of people they are, and they are foul people by nature. Foul people by nature. Okay. Let's go. This beautiful chick is a pervert. This is what they call the video. This beautiful chick is a pervert. All right. So the skirts are being lifted on the so-called hunk of the earth. All right. The so-called hunk of the earth, which I just showed you, Adam Britton, and Sally as well. I'm not going to call her Becky. All right. Because Rebecca is one of our foremothers. All right. So I'm not going to call this bitch Becky. I'm not going to use that Becky term no more. Okay. But this, the skirts are being lifted on the hunk of the earth. Where's that damn devil again? Yeah, the hunk of the earth, and you Edomites in general. All right. You think that you're the Israelites and you're the Egyptians. You like to show you that you're the musketeers. You're the ancient English in medieval England. You're the Mohicans. You're the Persians, Prince of Persia, and all that. You know, show an Edomite with a spray tan on. Oh, I'm Persian. I'm Iranian or whatever. You know, you are not those people. All right. Majority of the world, 99% of it is brown. Okay, you motherfuckers like to want to be everybody except who you really are. But now the skirts are being lifted. You're just a bunch of animals, man. That's how you were. All right. And the movie, let's find that movie, man. Shows who you really are. Quest for Fire. Let's find that. This is the movie, man. When did it come out? 1981. All right. They got that attractive so-called black woman. Yeah, Ray Dawn Chong. I think her father is a Moabite and the mother is an Edomite. Yeah, so they showed her in the movie as a so-called only brown woman because they had to throw that in there, making it look like that. Oh, there was brown people or so-called black people in the caves too. No, they didn't look like that. They all look like this Amalekite small hat, Ron Perlman. They look like this. There, does he have a face like a monkey? Look at him. Looks like an ape, doesn't he? You know. Even though this woman was fine when she was young, but maybe through the spirit they put her in there because she is a heathen. But then again, they wanted to throw that spanner in the works where, oh yeah, there were so-called black people in the caves too, so we're not the only cave people. Yeah, that's what Esau likes to do. They like to mix truth with lies. But the movie Quest for Fire, watch it. It shows you how these devils were. It's showing you how nastier they were, but in a so-called clean way. But they were nastier than they show in this movie. All right, these motherfuckers, picked lice out of their genital hair. They had sexual relations with each other. Family members and stuff. They wore their loincloths until it disintegrated. They never bathed. That's why they're still dirty to this day. They have a dirty nature. All right, they may show all these movies and shows from the 80s, 90s where they have these meticulous homes and these lawns that are manicured and their houses are clean on the inside. That's just for show. Yeah, there are some people like that, but on the inside, right, these people are dirty people, man. All right, this is their nature. All right. Just want to shed light on this filthy nation because the skirts are being lifted. All right. You're no longer at the hunk of the earth. and you are no longer the standard of beauty for women, and you are no longer the template of how women are supposed to be on this earth. But there are some stupid women that still follow uh, Sally. I call her Sally. Use Eddie Griffin's, take a page out of Eddie Griffin's book. He calls a so-called white woman Sally, this Edomite rat. Anyway, all praise to Yahweh Bashem El Shai Bashem Makakwadash. The skirts are being lifted, and you're going into slavery, devil. Shalom.